ain't no way. Enemies are teaching you the wrong way. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know your history? Yeah. Do you know it? Do you know it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. The mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back, kicking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back, kicking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 time. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy, mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 time. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah. Yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah, reading through the law to see. I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth of my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the robbers back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see. I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. The mouth of my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. Yeah. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Kicking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the robbers back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know, right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaQuash. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know where. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 times. Doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book. Yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim. Yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaQuash. Yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge. Officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know where. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it, yeah. Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. The mouth from my lips when I'm. Show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, send it back to back. Deacon 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah. Rounding up the yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know. Oh yeah, yeah. Just tell them you know. Oh yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it. Rounding up the yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, and you know it. Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah. While I'm teaching to the people that's thirsty, searching for the truth that's hidden, you know. Oh yeah. Speak through the mouth from my lips when I show me where you wanna go next, you know. Right away. If you lost and you don't know where the truth at, looking all around but you don't know where to go. Well, we gon' show you the way. Okay, let me read the line. Line it up, standing back to back. Taking 9 times, doctrine killer, hater stepping back. Captain Joel from the book, yeah, the prophet's back. Officer Ahim, yeah, that's Pepper Black. Officer LaCroix, yeah, from way back. Minister of knowledge, officer, just remember that. We gon' search the whole world, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh, 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 oh. Tell them you know, oh yeah, yeah, just tell them you know, oh Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, and you know it. Yeah. Rounding up the Rounding up the, yeah. Rounding up the book to read, I gotta get them all looking overseas, and you know it, yeah. Reading through the law to see, I gotta dot the I's, even cross the T's, and you know it, Praying to the Lord, have mercy. Show me where you wanna go first, you know. Oh yeah.
We are back to Our Hidden History.
No, we are now tuned into Our Hidden History Radio Show.
We're back.
I like the bomb. I like the bomb afterwards.
Yeah, the bomb afterwards.
We messed that up.
Yeah, I'm tired, man. It's gonna be all right.
I wonder why you're tired.
Man.
Every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
When you go to New York, you can't leave, and you come back home tired. Anyway, 3 hours of sleep. Anyway, so all praise to the Lord. We're back, chapter 23, right?
Chapter 23, yes, sir.
Chapter 23. We are in chapter 23 now. I was reading the comments. Some of y'all made some notable points regarding the history of how he pushed Esau into the mountains. We brought that out in Job 30. But I want to bring full circle is that, remember, during the time when the Moors conquered Esau in Spain and Portugal and forced him into the mountains, you also had Esau residing in the Caucasus Mountains at the same time. And Israel resided there also. We converted them over there as well. The Khazars. It's the same time period. You had Esau in the caves of the Caucasus Mountains in Georgia, Russia, and became Khazars. And then you had the push them into the mountains, right? We pushed them into the mountains. And then Muslims tried to, remember, we were Muslims. So when the Muslims gained dominion, Islam gained dominion over the earth.
It's saying no sound.
Oh, really? I'm talking to myself again?
Wow.
It just cut out?
It is?
It said, okay, it's back.
All right.
Okay. So hope y'all heard me. So during this is the same time Esau was in the mountains in Georgia, Russia. Esau was also in the mountains in Spain and Portugal at the same time. And when the Muslims tried to convert the Edomites over there in Georgia, Russia, it's the same thing. They wore the same clothes until the clothes disintegrated off their bodies. They were the same vile spirits eating lice out their hair.
Right.
It's the same spirit, same thing. All right, so now we're gonna go to page 411 in the conquest, volume 2. We're at page 411 now.
All right. You got that page, officer?
Empire, the Almoravid dynasty was all us. The Almohad dynasty, which comes after, was all of us also.
Right.
All Jake. So we get that first. You have some stuff, right? We'll get that.
No, that's the page that we posted up. You want to do page 73 where the Arab Moors and the distinction?
Yeah, get that first. And then
Get page 73.
So,
and then
right.
Right there, okay. Blow it up. All right, so it says, the inhabitants of the country, long known to the Romans as Mauritania,
That's what we go as a Maghreb, or land of the blacks. Go ahead.
were called by the generic name Amari, or Moors. And when this combination was formed, the host that was now ready to invade Spain, under the enthusiastic leadership of Musa, appeared in history as the Arab Moors, who combined the native forces and original momentum of the Arabians with the endurance and numbers of the people of Western Africa.
Right, so you had the Arabs and Israel together, known as the Arab Moors. And you have the numbers, the majority of warriors of the armies was our people of West Africa, and the minority of the army was the Arabs, because they were the religious influence over the armies. So the majority of the armies of that conquered Spain was Israelites in West Africa, okay?
Right, remember the of Ishmael, it was only 300 that contributed to the entire army.
Of the 7,000 was Israel.
Right. So that was, in Spain, that was all of us in Spain. I mean, the Arabs, they were there, but they didn't contribute really anything to it.
Aside from ideology.
Right. But we were the warriors.
Right, we were the fighters, the majority. Get the other one, the beef between us two, the beef between the two, between Ishmael and us. We didn't get along either.
Page 235.
As in terms of nation, in terms of being a nation. We followed the ideology, but we didn't get along in terms of, the nations.
It's the yellow highlight, right? It's the yellow highlighter.
You passed it, right there.
That's it. Blow it up.
Blow it up. Musa was Ishmael, right? Musa.
Yes, sir. You can go up. And we start at the beginning. I'll start right there, in the midst. In the midst of... You're going right there. In the midst of the silent and abashed assemblage, only one brave man himself, not without laudable ambition, was found ready to say a word in behalf of the humiliated chief. That was Magayuta Arumi. He knew well the merits of the case, the brilliant bravery of Tariq, and the envious ambition of Musa.
Right, Tariq was our brother, Tariq. Go ahead.
He declared that the whole army knew and admired the valor and ability of Tariq, and that they thought him worthy, not of punishment, but of the highest honors. But Musa would hearken only to the inner prompting of envy and anger.
Musa was jealous of Tariq. Remember, Tariq was the first one, I think, to set foot in Spain under Tariq's orders. And Musa was the Ishmaelite leader over that whole army, the Arab leader over the army, but he was envious because Tariq and them were the fighters. So most of the honor and glory went to us. We're doing all the...
Right, Musa gave him orders. Musa gave him orders to just set foot. Then he gave him orders to wait on him to conquer the rest of Spain. But Tariq went ahead and conquered it anyway, and he did a very great job at conquering it.
Damn.
So that's where the envy come from. Says, but Musa would hearken only to the inner prompting of envy and anger. The course he adopted was as impolitic as it was unjust, for it fomented a division already existing between the Berbers and the Arabians.
So that beef that Musa had with Tariq only furthered the beef between Ishmael and Israelites. The Berbers, Israelites, and the Arabians, Ishmaelites. Go ahead.
The former were an enormous preponderance.
We were bigger. We were larger in number. The Berbers, we were the larger in number. Go ahead.
And were, in an especial sense, Tariq's men.
Us, Israelites. Go ahead.
And they already resented the arrogant claims of the Arabians of pure blood.
And the Arabs were arrogant because they would boast that they were pure bloods. Because Israel mingled ourselves. Arabs boasted themselves of being purely Arab. Go ahead.
Most of whom were partisans of Musa.
Right, Musa's men. So there was a beef already between Israel and Ishmael. There was already a beef. Get the next one. The majority of the Amavid now. Amavid. You know what I'm talking about? The Amavid.
Yes, sir. You have that one, right?
Yes, sir. Regarding how after the Ishmaelites, remember earlier that the Israel was a majority.
Right.
So we're gonna read now what happened when the Amavid. We read last week regarding the Amavid dynasty, And I made a mistake in saying that was Ishmael and Israel. It wasn't. It was all Israel here. Read that?
It is not within the scope of this history to follow their fortunes in detail. For the original Arabian settlers and their principles of government, this was the worst of all the invasions. There was no longer place for the Arabians in the title of the Arab Moors. It was a Moorish dominion.
There was no longer a place, there was no longer a place for the Arabians in the title of the Arab Moors. It was what? It was a Moorish dominion. Go ahead.
Pure and simple.
It's at this point, there was no longer any Arabs ruling. Now it was all Islamic Israelites that dominated and ruled over Spain and Portugal now. Go ahead. Ishmael was in the back door somewhere. It was in the back somewhere. Go ahead.
With the Almoravids, all those stern conquerors, there had been something in common. At first, their allies against the Christians. They never forgot that their ancestors had sprung from Yemen. But the Almohades, pure Africans,
Israelites,
so far from sympathizing with the Arabians, made of the very name a title of prescription.
So we were against the Christians, the so-called white man. We were against them. Go back up. Sorry, go back up. We were against the Christians. We never forgot where we came from. We came from Yemen. But the Almohades, pure Africans, so far from sympathizing with the Arabians, made of the very name a title of prescription. So the Almohades and the Almoravids were Moorish dominion, all Israelites. Islamic. Go ahead. You want something else?
Hey, go down. See, you see that reference, note 2. Let's see what that says. If it say anything. Oh, never mind. It's all in Arab.
Spanish.
Spanish. All right. That's it.
And that's all I want, right? That's about it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now let's get page 411 now, in volume 2. The Conquest, volume 2. Wait. You know, go down. Go down to the bottom. Yeah, go down to the bottom there. You see that? It mentions Almohades. You see something? Go up. With varying fortunes, their power lasted in the peninsula 70 years longer to the reign of Idris al-Mamun, that's Israel too, in 1232. The last of these being Idris II, right? So that's all. Almohades is Israel too. All right? That's all I want. Get out of there. Page 411 now.
Where you want to start, D?
Page 411. I want to start at Paleo was. I'm going to end at Alfonso the First.
That probably, it's not on here.
Hold on. Try volume 1 then.
You have 411, volume 1? Yeah, come on, man.
I don't know.
You're supposed to put the volumes, separated.
Hope I wrote the wrong thing. Let me see.
Go.
Yeah, volume 1.
Volume 1. Go ahead. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Paleo was, and then Alfonso
Yeah, that's
the
it.
First.
Paleo was now king in reality, as well as in name. The Saracens may have still affected to doubt his importance. In addition to this, they wanted all their available men to confirm their own possessions and to invade Gaul. Be this as it may, they let him and his people alone. And with commendable prudence, he contented himself with securing and slowly extending his mountain kingdom by descending cautiously into the plains and valleys.
So Israel, we simple as hell. We allow Paleo's empire, the mountainous empire, to extend, to expand. Why? Because we underestimated Esau in those mountains. We shouldn't have.
What the hell is this?
Go
Right.
ahead.
He gave to it an organization, at once civil and military, such as.
Next page.
Such as preserved, and the most striking.
Such as its necessities demanded. 412. Right? Hold on.
Nah, I think that's the next. That's the next page. D.
Such as its necessities demanded.
But remember,
No, that's the next page.
remember Paleo. Remember that in the mountains, when they was in the mountains, they started out with only
30 men,
30
and 10
men
women.
and 10 women. All right, and remember from that nucleus of men and women, that's when they started gaining their organization, started becoming more military. That's what Paleo was able to, rouse them up and get them together. And we looked at it as if it was nothing because it's only 30 men and 10 women. What could they do to us?
No, that's not 412.
As us being the majority. But they ended up coming back and started conquering systematically and strategically.
Hold on.
All right.
Wait, let me read that. No, that's volume 1, page 412. It's volume 2, page 412.
Do y'all have that?
That's volume 1, page 412. This is volume 2, page 412. Well, this is volume. I'm sorry. This is volume 1, page 412. You're reading from volume 2, page 412.
Do y'all have both volumes? So what's going on?
You read the wrong one. That's volume 2's 412. I want volume 1's 412.
We don't have volume 1 for 12.
You don't?
All right.
Okay, do y'all have all right.
So-
Come scan this then.
So just to do a recap of what happened, just to do a recap of what went on, the last show. Remember, so we conquered Spain. We in Spain now. We living up luxuries and so forth. Remember, we pushed Esau all the way to the mountains of the Asterias. All right, and I think it was Cantabria. We pushed them all the way up there
Covadonga.
in the caves of Covadonga. All right, just like it says in Job chapter 30, the prophecy. But remember, it was only. Remember, they was only living off of honey and so forth. 300 of them at that time, and then they started dying off because of hunger. So it went down to what? It went from 300, went all the way down to 30 men and 10 women. All right, we looked at it, we laughed at, played it off, ain't think nothing of it. They started gaining momentum. Paleo was able to get them together and rile them up. And started, like I said, coming back and systematically and strategically taking us out one town by town, country by country. All right, and also that's where you get Ferdinand and Isabella. They come from out of that nucleus of Esau in the mountains right there. All right.
Type in Covadonga Cave. Somebody said there's some images. No problem.
Yeah, man. Israel never learned a lesson. Esau played they used the same tactics over and over again on us throughout history, man. Never changed. In the scriptures it says that we are to search out our fathers. You think Esau don't search out their fathers and what they did to us? They use those same tactics throughout history.
Images, yeah. So let's put some images now. The caves of Covadonga. Put that image. You should see some houses in the mountains. Blow it up. See that? See that house in the cave? See the little homes they had there? That's Covadonga right there. There's the caves. That's how they lived. That's how Esau lived. Well, not like that. That's elegant now, but they weren't living like that before. But they ended up building it up, though. They built the desolate places. That's Covadonga caves. Go out of that. Another cave right there, another image right there. Covadonga, Mount Covadonga.
love living in high places.
Yeah, and that's why
We didn't get the Obadiah. Did we get the Obadiah?
Yeah, Obadiah.
Oh, we got it? We got
Good
it.
Obadiah, yeah.
yeah, that's why they love this skyscraper.
Yeah.
Right.
See right there, Covadonga, see the little mountains there? Little homes there?
And you don't see, like, if you go in Manhattan, you'll see those high buildings. They always got trees coming out of them,
Yeah.
Plants and everything like that, just to remind them of the caves.
Right. They penthouses and all of that.
You got Santa Cueva de Covadonga. Go down. You see a little cave. Go down. They call it the Holy Cave of Our Lady Covadonga.
And we were the ones in the castles. We were the ones living in the castles.
So type in the Holy Cave of Our Lady Covadonga. That's a cave there. Type in Our Lady. Type in Santa Cueva de Covadonga. Santa Cueva. That means cave. Cueva de Covadonga. I'm gonna show y'all. Go to Wikipedia. Santa Cueva de Covadonga. Click that. Go to the images. Right there. Go down. Right there. Click that right there. There you go. There you go. See? There you go. A little cave right there. That's it. They call it. It's called the Holy Cave of Our Lady Covadonga, a Catholic sanctuary, a Roman Catholic sanctuary located in Asturias, northern Spain.
Wow. There you go. That's it.
It is a cave in the Picos de Europa Mountains, which gives its name to the parish of Covadonga in the municipality of Cangas de Onís. So they built churches in them caves.
Wow.
All right. This is the first construction in the Holy Cave, dates back of the reign of Alfonso I of Asturias, who, to commemorate the victory of Pelagius to the Muslims, built a chapel dedicated to the Virgin Mary. So this cave is in honor of Peleo.
Peleo, right.
They built this church in this cave in honor of Peleo and them, his ancestors conquering the Moors. Okay? Pelagius to the Muslims built a chapel dedicated to the Virgin Mary that would give rise to the invocation of Our Lady of Covadonga. Okay? In honor of Alfonso I. All right? So that's the cave right there. So Esau built this. Let's go now. Let's go now, page 412. On that note, go back out of there.
Cave dwellers.
Cave dwellers, man. Page 412.
Is this this volume 1, right?
That's it.
All right.
To the top. Stop at Alfonso. Its necessities demanded.
Its necessities demanded. All the men were drilled in military exercises. Industry was aroused.
It's Esau rising up.
They began to plant and build and fortify. Adjacent territory abandoned by the Muslims.
So we started leaving some areas open, and they took advantage of that. Go ahead.
Adjacent territory abandoned by the Muslims was occupied and annexed, and thus the new nation was made ready to set forth on its reconquering march.
Go ahead.
Peleo, it is said, died at Cangas de Onís.
We just read that. He died at Cangas de Onís. Which is that church in that cave commemorates Cangas de Onís. The caves of the holy caves of Covadonga. Go ahead.
In the year 737, after a reign of 19 years, and was buried with great pomp in the church of Santa Eulalia at Abamia, the ancient Valamia, beside the body of his wife, Gaudiosa, Later, a nobler and more fitting resting place was found for his remains, which were removed to and still occupy a tomb in the Cueva de Cavadonga.
So he's buried there. He's buried in that cave we just saw. He's buried in the cave of Covadonga. So he's buried in that cave I just showed y'all. I didn't even know that. He's buried in that cave I just showed you. Go ahead.
In the company of his son-in-law and second successor, Alfonso
the
I.
First. So he's buried there too. So they're buried in the caves they came out of. That's all I want. Now, get
He was like their Alexander the Greek at that time.
pretty much. He was
I
there.
was just about to mention that. Give me that real quick in Genesis. It says, and we shall break the yoke. (27) verse 40. This happened consecutively, historically, during the time period Alexander and the Greeks, as well as now. Go on.
Book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
So that happened when Esau was under King David, when he broke that yoke off his neck. And later on, you have Alexander in Macedonia, Philip of Macedonia first and foremost. And after that, Alexander came up in power, and then what did he do? He didn't know. He formulated a coalition between the other Edomite tribes and became the Greek Empire. No different from the history reading today. The same history repeating itself. When you break the yoke off of your brother's neck, then thou shalt have the dominion. What do you think they was doing in those caves? You think they were just praying to Mary? No. How do you think they got the power to overthrow us? A whole world Moorish empire. Get that, Revelation 13.
Yeah.
And Cap, they came back kind of quick too.
It's impossible. It's impossible to take over a whole empire in such a short span of time.
Right.
It's impossible with that many people. No weaponry, nothing. Living from caves. No. Somebody taught them in the caves. They weren't praying to Mary.
Yeah, praying to the
Read that.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 3.
Daddy said, it's time.
Yep.
My son, remember your nature.
There you go.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And
that's what we're hearing. And I saw, read that again.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
That's the Roman Empire. One of his heads as it was wounded to death. That's when they were conquered and overthrown. Read.
And his deadly wound was healed.
We're reading that right now. So we're reading right now.
We're reading that process right now. Go on.
And all the world wondered after the beast. And
What is the wonder? How did these Edomites go from 300 people all the way to 30 to grow to a mighty empire? How did they gain access to the military skills? How did they gain access to weaponry?
Right.
How did they gain access and able to form a coalition between the other Edomite tribes? How? To overthrow us. It was unheard of. Because when you look at the Moorish Empire, we still talk about to this day. You hear the Deacon and Officer Jess bringing it out. We was unstoppable. Till we even we overrid the Arabs.
Right. It was our Spain was our peninsula pretty much.
Right.
We own that.
Go on.
Verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
They didn't make a shrine to a
Covadonga.
Covadonga. Now they were to the god. All those churches they building, who do you think they worshiping when they're paganism? They're paying homage to Satan. Listen, they'll do more in that cave than what we think they were doing. They're probably sacrificing, blood sacrificing.
It's going down in the cave.
It was going down in the caves. They're speaking of spirits. They don't tell us these things. Why do you think when D.C. was built, they had with the Cove, D.C. What's the organization? Huh?
Bohemian Grove?
Yeah, Bohemian Grove.
Bohemian
George
Grove,
Washington,
yeah.
the secret society, Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
The
The Mason,
Freemason,
Freemason, all that stuff was going on. All type of witchcraft. And they worship what?
And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast.
Devil.
Satan gave him that power. He gave him the military power. He gave him all the information to conquer us. This is how you're going to conquer them. This is their weakness. That's it.
Hey, Deke, I'm sorry. Can we do a recap on Malachi chapter
Yeah, Malachi 1.
1 and 4?
Yeah.
Because that's what that's going into.
Right.
We
We shall return and rebuild, yeah.
The book of Malachi, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Read verse 1 first and go to verse 3 and 4.
Verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Verse 3. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountain and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down.
Right.
And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So the part that says that we shall return and build the desolate places, that's the reconquista. That's the rising, that's the fall of the Moors and the rise of Esau. Not only in Spain and Portugal, but also in the Khazar Mountains, in Georgia, Russia. Same thing. They begin to rise up, take over the world, piece by piece, land by land. Okay? So let's go to page 413 in same volume. This is it is not my purpose.
That's good.
We're gonna end at Old Castile.
It is not to my purpose to pursue the Christian successes, except so far as they concern the Moorish conquest. Their energy was never relaxed. In the year 801, the Spaniards were masters of a considerable portion of Old Castile.
Old Castile, I mean the ruins. We conquered them. No, they took over. It took back Old Castile. Go ahead.
To which their numerous castles gave its name. And when 100 years more had rolled away, their outposts had reached the chain of the Guadarrama Mountains, which separates New from Old Castile.
See that happen? They started gaining more and more territory. So now you had the land, but you had Jake on this side, you had Esau on the other side. That's how much land they gained back. So Esau gained momentum because our people were too busy fighting each other to pay attention.
Right.
Because niggas are stupid. Then and now.
Esau slick, man. They know the right time
They know when.
to attack.
Very calculative.
Very calculative. So let's get Deuteronomy 7, verse 1 to 3.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me,
Right.
that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly.
Give me numbers, one of the numbers. One of the numbers. So there'll be a thorn in your side. That's numbers, There'll be a thorn.
In Joshua?
I think it's numbers of Joshua.
Probably Joshua 1 and 23. 23, yes, 23.
Yes,
Joshua?
Sir. Yes, sir.
That's the one I want. Thank you.
Joshua. Oh, fuck. You said 23:13?
Numbers 33:55.
Oh, numbers 33:55. Okay. Numbers chapter 33 and verse 55. But if ye will not drive out the inhabitants of the land from before you, then it shall come to pass that those which ye yet remain of them shall be pricks in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and shall vex you in the land wherein ye dwell.
Was that it or no?
No, it's Joshua 23 and 13. Which one was that one, though?
Numbers 30.
33:55.
It's the same thing.
Joshua chapter 23 and verse 15. Therefore it shall come to pass.
No.
33 what?
Start at verse 12.
33 what? Cap?
55.
Verse 12.
Start at verse 11.
11, yeah.
Verse 11. Joshua chapter 23, verse 11. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love the Lord your God. Else, if ye do any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of those nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you. And behold, this day I am going the way
That's
of...
all I want. So if you mess around these nations, there'll be thorns in your sides. There'll be trouble for you. Mess around. Give me first Ezra 8:69 and 70. I went over this yesterday. The Lord said, do not mess with these nations.
First Ezra chapter 8, verse 69. The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites, have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land.
Right.
And from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and great men have been partakers in this iniquity.
Of this what?
Of this iniquity.
Of this iniquity. Of this iniquity. Give me Volume 1, Conquest, page 393. Volume 1, Conquest, page 393. 393. So when the Israelites, as the Moors, the Islamic Moors, took over Spain and Portugal, we violated the scripture a lot. Remember, we took our Edomite women, we took the favorites, we took them as slaves. A lot of the Edomite women and children, we took them as slaves. Concubines, basically.
Right. Where you want to start, D?
393. I want to start at
Go up.
They were indeed a motley crowd.
All right, yeah, stay right there.
You read it before, but we read it again.
Yes, sir. They were indeed a motley crowd. All ranks, many race types, and all stations were represented in a democracy of danger. There were bishops and priests, monks, husbandmen, artisans, and soldiers, men, women, and children, clinging like shipwrecked mariners upon a steep coast rock to be out of the reach of a devastating flood.
This is Roderick. This is when the Edomites were not prepared to fight against us, and we took over. Go to the next. It was a sad outlook.
It was a sad outlook. Muslims, in the arrogance of unchecked victory and angered by the slightest opposition, had begun to depart from the leniency of their first terms. The women of Spain were at the mercy of their conquerors as slaves and as favorites.
The women of Spain were at the mercy of their conquerors as slaves and as favorites. Go ahead.
The men were under tribute, which became more grinding from day to day. The children were snatched from their mothers' arms and destined to slavery. The young were exposed to the insidious snares of all-conquering Islam. The shrines were profaned. The Christian churches were, many of them, battered down or burnt, or worse, still turned into Mohammedan mosque. The images hacked to pieces, and the ornaments and treasures carried away as spoils of war.
Including women also. Now, let's get Nature Knows the Color line. Page 54. Page 54. We're going to start at, it's going to say at about.
Right. At about this latter period.
So we're going to start that mixture.
Yes, sir. At about this latter period, too, great masses of white barbarians, Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Vandals from the north and east swept down on Italy, dared to mingle their blood with this already much mixed people. Following these whites, we shall see in the next chapter
See, following these whites, the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Vandals. These are all the Edomites. These are the ancestors of the Spaniards or Christians of Spain. Visigoths, Ostrogoths. Ostrogoths is Jake and Edom. And you have Vandals from the north and east swept down on Italy. Go ahead. Because Jakes have also founded that title also, but mostly Esau. Go ahead.
Following these whites, we shall see in the next chapter great numbers of Africans, mostly Negroid, came in the 8th century to add to this mixture.
We mixed with them. And so the 8th century goes to the 700s. Okay, it came to add to this mixture. Go to the next page. Wild white Vandals.
While white Vandals were pouring into Africa.
That's where the term vandalize comes from. People vandalize your car. It's Vandals. Esau was vandal. They vandalized lands.
Right.
So Esau's called Vandals. Okay, they vandalized land and people. They vandalized lands and people. So that term fits them. They're called Vandals. Read it again.
While white Vandals.
Go ahead.
Were pouring into Africa in the 4th and 5th centuries. Africans continued to arrive in southern Europe chiefly as slaves. But in 711 AD, they came in as conquerors.
So we were brought to them as slaves in these lands. But then in 711, we came as conquerors. Go ahead.
Crossing into Spain, they captured Gibraltar and defeated the Goths, white Germanic invaders.
White what?
White Germanic invaders.
White Germanic invaders. Go ahead.
Of 3 centuries earlier, their commander Tariq, a Negro.
Tariq a what?
A Negro.
Tariq a what?
A Negro.
Tariq a Negro. And so was Tarif. Go ahead.
Gave his name to Gibraltar, formerly Calp.
Right, Rock of Tariq. Gibraltar Tariq. Go ahead.
These Africans were Moors, sometimes called Arabs.
I'm sorry, we stop it on that page. We stop at against Rome. Go ahead.
These Africans were Moors, sometimes called Arabs.
These Africans were Moors, sometimes called what?
Arabs.
Sometimes called Arabs. Because what? They spoke Rion?
Because of their language.
See that? Arab Moors. Because we spoke Arabic, they call us Arabs or Moors, but it was still us. Go ahead.
To the earlier Greeks, the Moors were a black or dark people. And to the Romans, Moros, and to the Romans, Morris. A black, woolly-haired people, known synonymously as Ethiops.
Black-faced. Ethiopians. Go ahead.
Nigger, Negro.
Nigger, Negro.
African.
Go ahead.
Even as late as the 5th century AD, Procopius, a Roman historian, calls the people of Morocco black.
There you go. Go ahead.
About the 2nd century BC, began invasions of white people into Morocco. The Romans, who called it Mauritania, came in, and it is to be presumed that their soldiers mixed with Moorish women. Julius Caesar himself had a Moorish queen as sweetheart. Later came the Vandals, a white people who were for a time allies with the Moors against Rome. Still later came Islamic invaders.
Wait, against Rome. Stop there. So at about the 2nd century BC, began invasions of white people in Morocco. The Romans, who called it Mauritania, came in, and it is to be presumed that their soldiers mixed with the Moorish women. Julius Caesar himself, blah, blah, blah. Later came the Vandals, the white people who were, for a time, allies with the Moors against Rome. Right. So, against Rome. So, at the time, we were allies against Byzantine Rome. Of course, that once Rome fell and so forth, we turned on each other.
Right.
Get page 56. In the page 56.
Blow it up. Go up. In the Chanson?
Yeah, in the Chanson, yes.
In the Chanson of Roland, written soon after they invaded France in 718 AD.
And that Negroes.
Yes, sir. They are described, verses 145 and 146, as blacker than ink.
Damn.
With large noses and ears, and with nothing white except their teeth. They are 50,000 strong and are led by Maganus, emperor of Ethiopia and Carthage. Their most valiant figure is Abysmi, that is Abyssinian.
Ethiopian, Ethiops, go ahead.
Who, verse 126, is described as black as melted pitch. In this epic, the Moors are called Saracens.
Go ahead.
A term which was also used for Negroes.
See that? So Saracens is a term used for Muslims or Negro Muslims. Negro Muslims, Saracens. All right, we're gonna stop at keep going. So stop at burnt brands.
Again, in the romance of Morian, one of King Arthur legends, Sir Morian, that is Moor, is described as all black. His head, his body, and his hands were all black, saving only his teeth. Moors are black as burnt brands.
Moors are as black as burnt. These are the purest Negro. Purest Negro. Purest. No impurity, no mixing at all. That's us.
Burnt in the furnace.
Burnt in the furnace. Exactly. That's the Messiah. Burnt in a furnace. Same thing. Burnt brands. Burnt brass. All right, and it says his teeth white with milk. Teeth is white. Only you see is his teeth. Get Genesis 49. I think it's verse 10 that I want. It says all black, his head, his body, his hands is burnt, all black, saving only his teeth.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 10.
Yeah, you know I want.
The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet,
That's right. Go ahead.
until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth with white. And his teeth white with milk.
So he was dark as hell.
man.
My fault.
He's dark as hell. Dark with white teeth. Same thing as the Moors. Same description as the Moors. Get Daniel 10, verse 5 and 6.
He only got one job off Abaddon.
Yes, sir.
Damn. Damn.
Daniel chapter 10 and verse 5. Then I looked up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like the beryl, and
Green garment.
and his face as the appearance of lightning.
Power on his body. Yeah, power. His body was enlightened. Yeah, light around him. Go ahead.
And his eyes as lamps of fire.
Red eyes.
And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Color to polished brass. His arms and his feet like in color to polished brass, meaning burnt brass. Burnt brands, same thing. Go ahead.
And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
And he spoke very, very loud. That it?
Yes, sir.
Revelation 1:14.
Shalom, brothers.
Wow, Cap.
Hey, Cap, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, sir.
Oh, praises.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
Right, his head and his hairs were white like wool or wool-like, meaning in texture and appearance. That's what it means, wool-like. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass,
Same as Daniel 10, same as Genesis 49. Same thing, go ahead.
as if they burned in a furnace.
Burnt brands. See, Christ was extreme. Christ was jet black. He was a black man. Go ahead.
And his voice as a sound of many waters.
Spoke very loud and powerful. All right? Same thing. Get page 56 now. No, we had it already. Get page 57. Page 57. I want 4A.
It's heavy because they saying in the book in Nature Knows No Color, and they saying the same thing as in Revelation. They just using different phrases: melted,
Right.
pitch,
Right.
burnt brand. Burnt
Burnt
brands.
brands. Same thing. Exactly. Same as that thing. Matter of fact, jump down to page 56. Read down. Moors are also up here.
So, what's this guy talking about?
Moors also appear. You're late, Gabby. That's right.
I don't know what.
Moors also appear by thousands.
Moors also appeared by thousands in European heraldry, and except in very rare instances are shown as coal black and with Negro hair. The earliest representations I have been able to find of any are in the arms of Aragon,
I mean, the coat of arms of Aragon. Go ahead, Spain. Go ahead.
which has 4 Moorish kings killed in battle by Pedro VIII, king of Aragon, on November the 18th, 1096. All are shown as jet black.
See that? All are shown as jet black. See that? Now, go to page 57, 4A. Page 57, 4A.
Like in some of the books that Bishop was bringing out on the Shout Out Tuesdays regarding Spain, us in southern Spain and so forth, a lot of times we always retained our color, even though we were still mixing and so forth. But you will see that a lot of books show you that we was black. All right.
Page 57, 4A, and it's going to be 4A and 5.
Says Gomez Moreno, DM El Arte en España, Alhambra, page 12. Also pictures de Moros en la Alhambra, 1916. Calvert, Moorish remains in Spain, volume 1, page 42. Pietro Taca in his monument to Ferdinand I, erected at Leghorn, 1620, has 4 Moors in chains, which are said to have been modeled from originals, one of whom is distinctly Negro.
Damn.
Raymond M. La Sculpture, Florentine.
16. So it says the Moros en la Alhambra. Get that real quick. Type in pictures de Moros en la Alhambra.
Oh, let's read 5, D.
The 16th century.
Okay.
16th century.
Oh, that's French?
It
Okay.
It should still be. It should still be standing. That statue.
You're on.
I think it's 4 Moors. It should have 4 Moors in chains.
So how you say that in French? The century? Siècle? Siècle. 16th siècle.
Do they have an image of that? It's called Moros en la Alhambra.
Yes, sir.
Moros, M-O-R-O-S.
D, what you looking for? The 4 Moors?
Yes.
Statue of the...
Type in the 4 Moors in chains statue. 4 Moors in chains statue. Or whatever.
Yeah, here we go. That's the one with the distinct Negro right there.
That's it. Blow it up. You can all see it. This is the statue of us being conquered. See that?
That's in Spain?
Hey, Esau...
They don't care,
He does
man.
that to make sure to remind him
Right.
of his victory.
Well, we supposed to forget our history.
It says that these are modeled from originals. So they actually modeled these statues from us literally in chains.
Right. Yeah.
Modeled from originals. That's us there. Okay? You do a little bit of some more?
That's in public to see.
That's in public. That's in public for to see. That's all Moors.
And we'll walk right by it, not knowing.
And not know what's about.
No clue. Like, oh, look at those nice figures and chains.
It says in the Alhambra. Alhambra, I believe, is Spain, I believe.
Hey, that's no different from here in Philly. At the City Hall, down City Hall, when you look at the sculptures inside, they have us holding up the columns.
Right.
Gad too, Judah and Gad.
Yeah. Got to.
Isn't that
Alhambra is Grenada, Spain. Grenada, Spain. Remember, the last stronghold
Right.
of the Moors was Grenada. So this is a symbol of the conquest of the Moors. This is in Grenada. This is in Alhambra is Grenada, Spain. Okay, so this statue is a symbolism of us losing rulership. It's no different from that statue in the museum in Manhattan with the Negro and the Native American on the side of the horse. It's the same thing here. Same exact thing.
Hey, you could go back out and go to the brother that he was saying distinctly Negro.
Yes.
And just to after you're done with that, if I could just I'll set the page. If I could just.
Yeah.
The third one, right there. So
That's him.
So
There you
that's
go.
the brother right there.
That's the Moor. I said, blow it up. That's the Moor.
And Deacon, I find it funny how we got to argue the case that the Moors were black because Esau would take the lightest skin of the Moors. Say, see, these were Edomite, these are Caucasians.
Right.
I remember in the war, I was arguing back and forth with this Edomite. He said the Moors are white. I said, you must be out your damn mind. I had never seen a white Moor. Maybe later on, they took on our titles, or like I said, you might find a couple light-skinned Jakes that they would intermingle with, and they say these were Moors.
I'm getting there. You're light-skinned Moors, but the purest Moors, the ones that got to Spain initially, was like that. That's a stat. These are models. That was a real person.
You can see it.
That was a
It's
real
very distinct
person.
picture.
They sculptured these statues after original people, our people.
Very distinct.
When they conquered Spain, the Moors, and put us in chains, they said, okay, sit still, nigga. And they sculpted them.
And look how sad he looks.
Look how he looks. He's defeated. He looks like a brother.
Yep.
In Grenada, Spain. Let's go to number 5. Go out of the book. Go to the book. See, white man says, forget slavery. They don't forget slavery. They got a statue of it right there in Spain. They want you to forget slavery. They don't want to forget slavery.
Yeah, and I bet you when the children is passing by, Mommy, Dad, why is this black man chained?
Right.
What's the reason? And they have to
And they tell their children why. Oh, because the white nigga ruled over us and we conquered them. That's our symbol of us ruling, of us taking over.
It's a reminder
Yep.
to never forget.
Right, and that's the same thing the Most High told Moses to tell our children concerning the Passover.
Yep.
When they said, Dad, why are we doing this? So you could tell them how the Lord destroyed the...
Yep. Number 5.
So predominant was the black skin of the Moorish invaders of Europe that blackamoor, black as a Moor, came to be used not only for Moroccans
Or Mauritanians, same place. Go ahead.
but for other blacks as Ethiopians and Sudanese. As Elliot Smith says, Negro admixture is so evident among the Moroccan population that the word Moor is often used to suggest Negro influence, as we see it in Blackamoor.
Come on.
Human History, page 124, 1919. The Oxford Dictionary also says it was commonly used for Negro in the Middle Ages and as late as the 17th century.
Well, initially meant Negroes, Moor. Go ahead.
Hambley, a more recent writer, says in Physique, a Moor may be a Berber.
Boom. A Moor may be a Berber, which are Israelites, like El Kahena was. Go ahead.
Or an Arab, or a mixture of the two. With
Or an Arab because we spoke the language. Remember that? Before we spoke the language. That's why. Go ahead.
Or a mixture of the two with Negro blood as well.
Or an actual Arab as well. Because remember, the Arabs were originally black as well. Go ahead.
Source, Book of Anthropology, Volume 1, page 135 to 935, 1937. But since many Arabs and Berbers are already Negro...
See that? The Arabs and the Israelites were already Negro.
Damn.
These are Abraham's children. If the Arabs and the Moors were Negro, what was Abraham?
Right.
He was a Negro too. Right. So was Isaac and so was Jacob.
Bring it out.
Go ahead.
We can say simply that Moors range in color from unmixed black to fair white with all the shades between.
So the Israelites range from real dark to real yellow and white.
Can we get that scripture?
Just like today.
Speckled birds.
We're going to get there. Get there. Get Jeremiah. Do I have that here? No, get that. Okay, you good. You good, LaQuan. I ain't got that. I ain't got that.
Yo, you've been on point, man.
That one on point. Yes, sir.
You know?
Can't fault them for nothing.
So it says they go
nothing
from,
to
the
say,
Moors
sir.
went range in color from an unmixed. It
your
says the Moors range in color from an unmixed, meaning the purest, unmixed black, to fair white with all the shades in between.
I got it. Now that you brought it out, I got to bring this out. You know, no, let Quad do his thing. You know, let him do his thing.
Pull that,
Yeah, you know what I'm
Jeremiah.
saying?
He on
Speak
point
your
right
truth,
now.
baby.
You in the spirit,
Speak
man.
your truth.
Where's this the Most High?
Yo, pull my thing up.
Well, praise the Lord. I'm a Moor.
Jeremiah chapter 12 and
Tony.
verse 9.
You guys are haters.
Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field.
Right, so the point is that the speckled bird, a bird of multiple colors, a multicolored bird. The term is what's the term? Speckled. Speckled goes. There's another term for it.
Speckled?
Not speckled. There's a term that's synonymous with speckled.
I'll check.
You got it?
I'm looking now.
Hold on, I'm gonna get it. No, I'm gonna get it right now. Hold on a second.
I don't like those stuff.
Variegated.
Dang, I wasn't.
What dictionary you have?
Variegated.
Yo, D.
What dictionary you have?
No, it's Bible. It's a Bible. It's Bible.
Oh shoot! I went to dictionary.
Yeah, I'm looking at a thesaurus.
Okay,
I ain't see-
I said nope.
Variegated. Give me. Type in on variegated. Variegated.
I don't even know what variegated means.
VARIE gated.
Varies.
Yeah, various gate.
Damn, Cap, you got it. I was just thinking of that.
Colored. The word speckle means colored,
Oh yeah.
variegated, or speckled. What speckled bird mean? You type in variegated. Blow it up. What's that word mean? For speckled, this is the word that goes to speckled.
Different colors.
Variegated. Blow it up a little bit. Just a little bit.
More.
Right there. Exhibiting different colors, especially as irregular patches or streaks. Variegated yellow bricks of a plant or foliage having or consisting of leaves that are edged or patterned in a second color.
Read synonyms. Synonyms.
Look at the similar too. Multicolored.
Multicolored.
There you go. Come on.
Party colored. Very colored. Multicolored. Many colored. Many hued. Polychromatic.
Multiple, multicolored, polychromatic.
Colorful. Prismatic. Rainbow-like. Rainbow. Kaleidoscopic. Psychedelic. Jazzy. Harlequin. Motley. Mottled. Marbled. What's that? Serrated. Streaked. Speckled.
There you go.
All right. Flecked. Patchy. Blotchy. Blotched. Dappled.
So Israel is a speckled bird, man. We're multiple shades and multi-featured people. Based upon integration, mixing, scattering, we're all over the place. Okay? This dumbass doctrine about black only. You niggas are stupid as hell. Israel is a multicolored people. Initially, purest of us was jet black. The niggas that claim the Israelites was black, they ain't black themselves. You're not even jet black yourself. So now, get all page.
We can just put out real quick, Deacon.
Oh yeah. What you got?
Put that out. So this coincides with Deacon was
Tribute to
referencing.
Negro, yeah.
Yeah, it's shown that all throughout Europe, the Moors exhibited different shades from dark brown all the way to light skin. That's why you have some Edomites who even claim that the Moors are white. Right. Well, they try to claim that's white, but they can't.
The word Moor means black itself.
Yeah. And that's the witchcraft behind it, because they know black people don't look the words up.
Right.
The Jews, however, slightly. Their features may have assimilated to those of other nations, amongst whom they are scattered. From the causes...
Whoa.
Oh,
Read that back. Read it again slower.
What's the bomb?
The Jews, however, slightly. Their features may have assimilated to those of other nations.
Their features may have assimilated to other nations. Their features. Go ahead.
Amongst whom they are scattered. From the causes.
Wait. We got something there. From amongst whom they are scattered.
Right.
So when you go these different, wherever the slave ships went to, you think that you look at the other nations, some of those are Israelites.
Yes.
They look exactly like the other nations.
Right.
Because they assimilate themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So you go to China or East India.
They're gonna look like Chinese.
They're gonna look like Chinese.
And it's gonna be hard for us to
Discern.
discern that
some instances,
or
yes.
accept it.
Right.
And this is where you get your Gentiles from in the New Testament.
Right. Yep. From that time until now, up in those lands. Go ahead.
From the causes already stated, certainly form a very striking example of regards the uncertainty of perpetuity in color. Descended from one stock and prohibited by the most sacred institutions from intermarrying with the people of the nations.
Whoa. Read it again. Read it again.
Descended from one stock
Descended from one stock. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Go ahead.
and prohibited.
And forbidden. Prohibited. Forbidden from what?
By the most sacred institutions.
The laws of God. What?
From intermarrying.
From we were not supposed to intermarry. We were not supposed to. I said that last week. No, I said yesterday.
Yesterday.
We were not supposed to intermarry based upon the laws.
You just read it earlier too.
But the Lord, and I read it earlier also. Right. But the Lord, in some instances, He gave a pardon. But it was not. The Lord was not down with that. He didn't like it. The Lord did not like us doing that. Our forefathers did it, but He said, "Okay, let that ride." That's why He said, "Showing mercy to the thousands that love Me." Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they loved the Father. They loved the Lord. But they did things that was off. Our forefathers did things that was, sometimes they were wrong.
And Dick, so to cut short, Tobit said it.
Right, Tobit said it was whoredom.
Right, our forefathers married women
Of their own, right.
nation.
Right, and he names them.
He named them, right.
Let's get that. Let's get that real quick. Let's get that. Tobit, let's get that. Let's get it. That's why Nehemiah was putting hands on people. Because he's arguing back and forth. Well, Solomon did it. David said, I don't care what they did. The Lord said he's supposed to be doing it. And they kept arguing. He started putting his hands and started beating their ass.
Same thing they're doing today.
Right. Same thing they're doing today. Nehemiah started beating their behind for the same excuses Israel uses today.
Was pulling
their hair, chasing them around, threatening them. Go, get away from me, man. Get away from me.
A nigga will bring a brother to certain lands.
Yeah.
After a while, you like this. Yo, like, damn.
Why I keep talking to you?
That was violent right there. That gunshot.
Yeah.
Yo, you put me in the right spirit now. Yo, turn up time. Now it's turn up time. Yeah. Now we turn up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we tired you dumb niggas talk all that mess, going back and forth. We give you the law, and you want to talk that ish. We gonna start laying hands on you.
That's right.
That's what Nehemiah was saying.
We gonna wrap our hands around your neck.
That's what Nehemiah was doing.
Keep disrespecting the prophets. We gonna take it old school.
That right there.
My man got all weaponry over there.
That's what Nehemiah was doing. Nehemiah got sick and tired of talking to Israel. They were tired of talking to you, man. What's the law say?
Just disclaimer: don't do this at home. You might approach a big Negro. He might choke you.
Yeah.
Then he apply Proverbs
He'll
15.
choke you out in front of his white wife.
Dang.
You like the law says this.
Right, exactly. Tobit 4 and 12.
The book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
He says all whoredom. It's going to name a form of whoredom. He says all whoredom. Read on.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers, and take not a strange woman to wife, which is not of thy father's tribe. For we are the children of the prophets, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
These four.
Remember, my son, that our fathers from the beginning, even that they all married wives of their own kindred.
Noah did. Abraham did. But remember, Abraham's wife, Sarai, was desperate. She was barren. She could not have babies. She said, listen, take my handmaid as a surrogate and bring up seed unto me. And that was a child. That's why the Lord referred to that child. Paul said that was a child of the flesh because they lusted for a child. They didn't wait. The Lord said, no, I'm not done with that child. I'm not done with that one. That child can't be heir with the child of the promise. All right, read on.
And were blessed in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in thine heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people.
And what?
And not taking a wife of them.
So in not taking a wife for your sons and daughters, you hate your people. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
For in pride is destruction, and much trouble.
That's where interracial marriage comes from. Pride. I can't handle my own women. I'm weak. I'm a sissy. I'm not built to deal with the black woman or Hispanic woman's mouth. So I'm going to go get me a silent mouth. That's why, like I said before, I said yesterday, the doctrine comes from men. I'm telling you, it comes from people. I don't know where the source is from. But I guarantee the doctrine comes from Israelites that cannot handle their women. That cannot handle their women. The women are out there in pants. They out there in the clubs. They got their hair painted blue, blonde, orange, green. Their hair, fingernails the size of this mic. Lip gloss. They Megan Thee Stallion out. They Cardi B'd out. They all in the world. And some of these dudes got white women, white wives, white girlfriends, white baby mamas. That's what it boils down to. When they're trying to save them. Justify themselves in keeping these heathen hoes by saying we can have heathen wives. That's what it boils down to. It's the only options. Because for you to use Deuteronomy 7 and 1 and say, yeah, there's just these 7 nations, that's you being deceptive. Because there's no video I've seen of any Israelite camp say, so-and-so camp rebukes a Girgashite. So-and-so camp rebukes an Amorite. So-and-so camp rebukes a Jebusite. I haven't seen that video yet. Show me a video where you rebuking Jebusites and Ammonites and Canaanites. Where? I'll see Esau all day, but we can sleep with them, though. I'm curious. You'll do a video blasting Esau all day, but then you'll condone screwing them. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. And our forefathers, the Moors, did the same thing. They took their favorites among the women, and guess what? Them women helped overthrow us. They helped overthrow us. Okay? So where we at?
Let me read the rest.
Yeah, read the rest of it. For in pride, I'm sorry.
Yes. For in pride is
Deacon
the
went to that place.
Yeah.
You went to that dark side. Yo, when you go to that place, you gotta let him ride. Man, I just feel like jumping on. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
For in pride is what?
For in pride is destruction and much trouble.
That's what they bring. They bring you trouble. They bring you much trouble. That's why I said very early in Numbers, there'll be a thorn in your side, pricks in your eyes. It's the same thing. Go ahead.
And in lewdness is decay and great want.
And doing that is lewdness. And it's great decay. Why? Because you lose understanding. Your decay means you start to what? Get corrupted. You become corrupted. Your understanding becomes corrupted. And after a while, when you start saying, yeah, you can have sex with the other nations, after a while, guess what happens? They can be saved. Mm-hmm. They can get the kingdom too. That's what happens.
We wonder where these doctrines are coming from.
That's what happens. After a while, the Messiah doesn't matter what color the Messiah is anymore. Over time, you're celebrating Christmas now. You're celebrating birthdays now. You celebrate Halloween now. You start to get weak. You start. King Solomon, he's the wisest man ever walked the earth. He got old. He got simple. It says, in lewdness is decay and great lacking want. Go ahead.
For lewdness is the mother of famine.
Because famine leads to what? Death. All right? So now let's go back. Give me the app for kindness now, page 140. And also, I gotta do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead, Deke.
Yo,
Bring it out,
man. This
Bring it out.
therapy. This therapy. Bring it out, Deke. Yo, get the music, man.
No. Look at them.
Nah, no violin, no violin.
No violin. We about to put some trap beats on something. You know what I'm saying?
When you have 12 tribes of Israel, right? 12 tribes of Israel. Our women are the best looking women on the earth.
That's right.
Nothing tops them. No one tops
Always
them.
going to that place.
They are freaking gorgeous. I was gonna say delicious, but that too. Gorgeous.
Put some jazz on, man.
So,
Yeah,
so
right,
for
right.
you,
Chill hot.
for you to want to step outside of that, I don't understand it. I don't get it. That our women, and on top of it, even earlier, that Israel, our women, because of mixing, they have various features. So if you want Moab, you can get a sister with Moab eyes, Moab features. You can get a northern kingdom with Edom features. You got Jake women with pale skin, straight hair.
Right.
Look at Quincy Jones' daughter. Look at her. That's a Jake.
They have Esau highs.
The movie Book of Eli, the one, sister that was blind. That's a black woman. She was in that thing that something dance, Flash Dance, an old movie. You know what I'm talking about? Flash Dance, right? That's the movie Book of Eli. That sister that's blind. That's a sister. That's a black woman. So you have Israelite women that pass for, even Esther. Esther passed for a Persian woman. So our women vary in colors, features, and they're gorgeous. Why would I step outside of that to mess with nations when I can have a sister that resembles the nations?
To get something with the lips folded in.
Right, stick with your own. What are you going outside of that for? For what? For what? What baffles me is you have niggas that go out and will get involved with an Edomite that's thick. But you have a sister that's thicker with the same features.
That's right.
That are hers, not plastic, nose all fixed up, and she's freaking spray painting her skin brown. Not that garbage. I mean real, pure, gorgeous sisters.
Bring it out.
You niggas up, but you make me make me sick, man.
Let it out, Deke.
Y'all make
Let
me
it out.
sick.
Where's that flush thing, man? Flush it out.
Let it out, Deke.
They want something with a flat back, a long back.
You want a pancake? You want some pancakes?
Yo, bring it out, Deke.
Smell like a dog.
I don't like
Yo,
pancakes.
It's therapy, man. Let him speak his truth.
Real is like, man, we like cake.
Yo,
you brothers want
speak your truth,
you
Deke.
brothers want pancakes. We want cake.
Speak your truth, Deke. Y'all know you're not done, Deke.
Bring it out. Maybe you can't handle sisters. That's why you want the
Roy.
white girls. Some of y'all are too small to handle sisters. That's no problem. No problem. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? I'm gonna get me a white girl.
Yo,
I can't deal with a black woman.
Deke, man,
There's
hands
7,
down,
8.
man. Yo, that was beautiful.
Just saying, man. That's what it is. Some of y'all Tiny Tim. You gotta give it a white girl. I understand.
Damn.
Tiny Tim.
Was that 7, 8?
Yo, we just like, I ain't know what class is about anymore.
I don't know. I'm just speculating, nigga. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Deacon just went to the dark
know
realm,
what it
the
is.
realm of darkness.
I don't know what it is. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Class took a dark turn.
I'm sorry.
Yo, we just went into Deacon's weekly therapy section.
I'm sorry.
No, Deacon, speak your truth, man.
Nah, but it's true,
Never
man.
never apologize, man, for your
you're
truth.
stepping outside of your own women. I'm like, for what?
Speak
They're
your
American
truth.
women. Judah's sisters.
Beautiful.
Levi,
Yo, speak your truth.
Benjamin,
Look at this guy.
wow.
Look at this guy.
Ephraim,
Yo,
Simeon.
Speak your truth, Deke. Speak your truth, Deke.
The options are damn
Yo,
near endless.
the world want to know, Deke. Let the world know, Deke, your truth, man.
Niggas are retarded.
Never allow them to take your truth from you. That's what I'm talking about.
Y'all are horrible influences, man.
Yo, this is smooth,
Y'all are
milky
terrible.
chocolate.
Y'all are terrible.
Yo,
You know
you
what I'm
got
saying? Yo, we got your back, man. We here for you, ride or die.
you gotta love the panel, Deke.
Yeah, man. Speak your truth, man. A beautiful, nice caramel sister, milk chocolate.
All right.
Know what I'm
All
saying?
right. Hosea
beautiful
7, 8.
Northern
No,
Kingdom
no,
sister.
Cap.
Yeah,
No Cap.
Our beautiful Southern Kingdom sister.
No.
sorry, I thought we was going
I had to leave. Cause you go there.
we was going
No,
there.
man. I closed the door. I told the door to open the door again.
Yo,
You know,
Cat,
I
man.
go there.
Cat.
I know.
I'm in there.
I know. We know
All
Cap.
day,
I know.
every
I
day.
know Cap. I know. We know. We know Cap.
We here.
You know
We
Cap.
back.
We're back, Kevin.
We back.
You got
man.
a son sooner or later, man. You have a son sooner or later, man.
Yeah. Where we at, man?
Hosea 7 and 8. Jesus Christ.
Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8.
Oh, my
Radio show
God.
ended.
What Bible we reading right now?
BET after dark. What's going on? What's happening, man? Hosea 7 and 8.
Quiet storm.
Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
So Ephraim mixed ourselves among the people. Ephraim mixed themselves with the Assyrians, with the Syrians, with the Babylonians, with the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, with the Spaniards, with the French. Ephraim had a heavy spirit of mingling themselves. Judah, Southern Kingdom, for the most part, we kind of remain with our own. But Northern Kingdom, they always stray off. Not saying Judah didn't do that, but Ephraim had a habit of straying off. We did it in India. We did it in a lot of places. Ephraim, particularly. All right? So Ephraim also varies in features as well. Both kingdoms vary in features. Both kingdoms are guilty of this, but Ephraim predominantly was involved in mixing themselves.
Right.
Give me page 58 now. Nature knows the color line. Page 58. After the invasion. Why would you go outside your... Why?
You're speaking truth, D.
No, man. I'm sorry.
Let it out, baby. Why?
I'm just thinking about the sisters. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
why? Why?
That's right.
They have no sense. That's what it is.
That's right.
No sense.
Especially in the kingdom, God, it says it built like a palace.
Woo!
I don't understand what that means.
Woo-wee!
You see things now.
Right.
You're like, wow, look at that.
Right.
The Lord's like, nope, I got something better. Wow.
Right.
But you're going to go for the... Listen, in the kingdom, that ain't happening in the kingdom. It ain't
Right.
happening.
Looking at something with ostrich lips don't make no sense.
Chimpanzee lips.
I don't know. Page 58, we went after the invasion.
Wait, Deke, you want to go back to the Afrikaners? We didn't.
Oh,
do
yes,
Afrikaners.
Afrikaners. Thank you. Page 140. Yeah,
We gotta bring
go
them
there.
back, man. Bring them back.
Yo, shit. What about Afrikaners?
Oh, yo.
What the hell are we talking about?
I don't know, man. I got lost in
Yo, what is class about anymore? Yo, how did we get from caves to this?
That's your book.
Oh, that's why we was speaking about interracial marriage and stuff.
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's
yes,
why.
yes.
Damn, you know.
I'm sorry.
Go down.
No, don't ever be sorry for your truth, Deacon.
No, I do.
Don't
Sorry,
let
man.
anybody
If
take
I-
away your
if I-
truth,
if I
man.
listen- If I listen to y'all, man, this will turn to something.
Speak your truth,
very
man.
bad.
I love it.
140. Where we at? What I mark it at?
Everybody at home be like, what just
Says-
happened?
I don't even know why I want this. I forgot why I want. Okay, yeah, just go. Okay.
No,
might have
you're
to-
showing a.
I'm about to end class.
You just read.
I think you want a distinction between the Arabs. And we was called that interchangeably. I think
Just
that's
read.
what you
Just read the whole thing, man. I don't know why I got this thing. Just read the whole thing. Read the whole page.
wanted. Moreover,
Yeah, read that second paragraph. Second paragraph was good. Second paragraph was good. Blow it up. Even the top. Moreover, yeah.
Moreover, this part of the world is inhabited especially by 5 principal nations, to wit, by the people called Kafri,
Okay, this part of the world is referring to Africa, I believe. Africa, yes.
right, Kafites, that is to say outlaws or lawless, by the Abyssinians, the Egyptians, the Arabians, and the Africans are Moors,
Or Moors, properly so called. Go ahead.
properly so called, which last are of 2 kinds,
The last are of 2 kinds. Africans and Moors are of 2 kinds.
namely white or tawny Moors,
Namely, white Moors or tawny Moors. White Moors or tawny Moors are Moors that are not jet black.
Wait,
I
I just remember. We didn't finish the last book. It goes in hand in hand.
I don't know
Oh,
why-
yeah,
Yeah, we didn't finish it. Yeah, we was going into it. We didn't finish the last book.
Okay, go back.
Yeah, we.
Go back.
Now it's gonna go. It's gonna tie into each other.
Okay, go back there.
And the reason you went there to show the
Interracial marriage.
Oh, Negro,
no,
introduce to the
intermixing.
Negro.
no,
Huh?
no,
Yeah.
You didn't finish that. I'm
the,
sorry.
the different shade of Moors.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
right,
and
right.
yeah, and coincidence with the Jews.
And Speckled Bird. Right.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
and then he bring the book out. About
Yeah, the Jews and the
interracial
Moors. So it's tying together, showing the Jews and the Moor during the same time period.
Wow.
Because we're discussing the Moors.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
that's
yeah,
why.
yeah.
This
Got
book,
you,
your
got you.
book is discussing the Moors. This book is discussing the Jews.
Right, same
during
thing.
the same time period and the same country, showing you that the Jews and the Moors synonymous.
Right. Well, go there again.
sorry viewers, we took a sharp turn.
It was deserved, sisters. Y'all sisters should be proud of yourselves, man.
That's right.
Hey, give yourself
Don't be
a hand
ashamed
clap
of who you
without the big mouth.
Right, yeah. The
Yeah.
mouth is big. Just be quiet.
Yeah, just be quiet. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Nobody want to hear you.
And smile. Just smile.
Just smile. You look good without the big mouth.
Right.
Silent and loving.
A gift for the Lord.
Go up again.
Right.
I was at Descendant. There you
Nobody
go.
want a dragon because the alpha male's a dragon slayer.
Yeah.
Better
Right.
weak ass man.
Right.
You listen. You a prisoner in a damn dungeon.
Right. Those are the ones of one of the nations. Those
Yeah.
are betas. One of the nations. One of the other nations.
All right. Descended from one stock and prohibited by the most sacred institutions from intermarrying with the people of other nations, and yet dispersed according to the divine prediction into every country on the globe. This one people is marked with the colors of all. Fair in Britain and Germany,
Wow.
brown in France and
Brown
in
and
Turkey.
what? Brown and France. Wait, how did they get France?
Right.
Are we not speaking about the history of the Moors?
Right.
Go on.
Brown in France and in Turkey. Swarthy in Portugal and in Spain.
What does swarthy mean? You notice how they'll throw out different terminologies rather than saying it's black?
Yep.
They all mean the same thing. More black, brown, black.
Yep.
Swarthy black.
Swarthy. Yep.
Tawny black. Oh, represent the same people.
Yep. Go ahead.
And speaking of that, here comes the next
Going to
word.
say it. Swarthy in Portugal and Spain. Go ahead.
And then here come olive. Olive in Syria.
Olive is black.
What color is olive?
Black.
It's
Olive is
black.
black or
There's-
brown?
There's green olive and there's brown.
Black and brown. Right. It's brown or black. Same thing.
You know, a nigga would say green.
Yeah, he's retarded.
I seen niggas say such things.
Yeah, they'll say the Moors are Piccolo from Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
we were like,
Dumb
there's 3
niggas.
olives. The nigga, oh, you
Dumb
went
ass
back.
niggas. He's a Namek. Niggas is Nameks. You retarded nigga, you.
Yo, you said they're like, oh, Jesus was olive. Nigga, which one? It's black, brown,
Right.
and green. It's the nigga was the green. He was a
He
green
was
olive.
green. He was green.
Hey, Esau know. And when Esau throw out the
His name was
word,
Piccolo in Greek.
when Esau throw out that word olive, say he's olive, because they know what they mean.
They know what
they're
they
talking
mean,
about.
yeah.
We don't know that though.
Right.
And you know why they say olive too? Because remember, it says they had a barrel garment. The garment was green.
Tell him shut the hell up.
Yeah, I understand that.
Olive in Syria and in Chaldea. Tawny or copper colored in Arabia and in Egypt.
Right. So tawny goes back to copper colored. Tawny, copper color. Go ahead.
Brass burning fire.
Right.
whilst they are black at Congo in Africa.
Wow.
Wait, they are black. Who? The Jews.
Right.
In Congo in Africa.
Right.
Why? Who you think King Leopold was killing, massacring?
Yup. In the Congo.
The Jews in the Congo. That's
Right.
showing you who they were.
Yup.
That's why they exhibit the curses.
That's why.
Hey, Deke, I think you the tawny or at least copper colored.
Who?
You are, sir.
No, I'm black.
You ain't cat.
I'm black at Congo in Africa. That's me.
Oh, you listen. Listen. You weren't even on this side. You was on the other side of the world. praying to statues and then sun gods and wind gods.
Cap, I was over here. Cap. No.
Oh, you was over here. Yeah. You was over here.
Yeah,
Yo,
you over here.
next page.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
You was over here.
Me,
You was over here first.
we're reading me and Deacon's history.
I've been seduced to witness.
You were playing with blood and eagle's feathers, dancing around, talking to a damn rain god.
Right.
Wonder why it's not talking to you back.
Yeah, a wooden pigeon toy.
Yeah,
he was
talking to a
taking it
wooden
down from the
pigeon
horse.
toy. Then you see a white man in a boat. You say, "Oh shit, that's not the God I pray to." Most I answer your prayer. Since you did a boat full of white people.
Let's switch to break, please. It's not.
Oh man,
Let's go to page. Where we at? Go to my book now. Go to the book now.
Well, is it done?
Does it want more?
Was it? That's it, right?
Yeah.
No, there is more that I like. I seen.
But yeah, because it goes down and it switches to the Negro.
Oh, we more. Yeah, we more.
All right. The researchers of Dr. Preacher have dispelled many of the ideals formerly entertained with respect to the general persistency of color and features in the human race, especially of color, on which the greatest stress has been laid. In some particular states of the Constitution, the skin of whites become either wholly or in part black.
Wholly or part black.
Wholly or in part black. On the other hand, it is well known that the black loses part of his original tint in a state of civilization. It is remarked in the United States that while Negroes kept at field labor retain their pristine color,
Wow.
his son.
those who are domesticated as servants became paler at the second and subsequent generations,
House niggas. Right. It makes some white man mix with us.
and also lose their African features and other peculiarities. There are also instances of Negroes losing their original color, wholly or in part, under the influence of disease or some other constitutional affection.
Leprosy.
Right? Dr. Strzok records the case of a man who was converted by fever into a perfect Negro in color.
One thing I want to point out, if you see the transition from Jews, Portugal, Spain, Germany, where else? Arabia, Syria, Turkey.
Britain.
Then why do they transition to Negroes, the colored Negroes, all of a sudden?
Right.
Show what's
the correlation?
What's the correlation between the two? Showing you that it's the same people they're talking about. He went
Right.
from the Jews during that time period to the Negroes because why? The Jews lost their heritage, their customs.
Right.
Now we talk about the Negroes in America.
Right.
They did that in another book, too.
Yeah. I think Bishop brought it out. They did the same thing.
Go to that book. It mentions Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in that book. It mentions them.
Yeah. Why don't they ever transition to the so-called people calling themselves Jews, white
Right.
people?
Right.
Go to the Apocryphus again. 140. Where we at? Yeah. Go to moreover. Yep. Go ahead.
Moreover, this part of the world is inhabited especially by 5 principal nations, to wit, by the people called Kafri or Kafites, that is to say outlaws or lawless, by the absence, the Egyptians, the Arabians, and the Africans or Moors, properly so called, which last are of 2 kinds, namely white or tawny Moors,
Namely, white or tawny Moors. I mean, the light-skinned black folks. Go ahead.
and Negroes or black Moors,
Or the darker Moors. Go ahead.
of all which nations some are Gentiles which worship idols, others of the sect of Muhammad,
Muslims.
some other Christians, and some Jewish in religion.
Moors. Go ahead.
The greatest part of which people are thought to be descended from Ham, the cursed son of Noah, except some Arabians of the lineage of Shem,
Some Arabians of the lineage of Shem. Go ahead.
which afterward passed into Africa. Now the Arabians inhabiting.
Wait. It says the greater part of which people are thought to be descended from Ham, which is Africans. He's right.
Right.
And then Arabians who are also in there descend from Shem. Esau knows who's who. Go ahead.
Which
Well,
afterward,
this is Jake. This is Jake that wrote this. Go ahead.
which afterward passed into Africa.
Right. Ishmael got in there too. Go ahead.
Now the Arabian inhabiting Africa are divided into many several kinds, possessing divers and sundry habitations and regions. for some dwell near the seashore, which retained the name of Arabians.
That's it. So the black, we have Moors, black Moors, we have tawny Moors. Those were lighter because they mix around with the Spaniards and so forth. But the purest of them was jet black, like black pitch, burnt brands, burnished brass. That's the purest of the pure. And they're all kind of up to white. Jeremiah 2, no, page 58. Is that I want it? Yeah, you got it. You got it. Page, I want it. Page 58. We read page 58 already? We read page 58? Did we read page 58 already after the invasion?
No, sir, we didn't read that.
We'll read that. Let me wrap it up.
I'll blow it up.
Page 58 after the invasion.
After the invasion of 711 came other waves of Moors. Probably
See that, the Amavirids and Almohads. Go ahead.
Probably even darker.
Probably even darker than the ones that showed up. Darker Moors. They damn near nighttime with feet. Damn nighttime walking around. Go ahead.
In 1086, Yusuf ben Tashin.
Takfin. We read about him last week. Go ahead.
Who is described. Next page.
59.
No, where's 59? That's 58. You should have 59. That's him. Take both pages. All right.
I got 58 and then jumped to 60.
I'll read it from here. All right. After the invasion of 711 came other waves of Moors, probably even darker.
Right.
In 1086, Yusuf ben Tathan, who is described as dark and woolly haired.
Damn. Takfin, go ahead.
And was probably a Nigerian, brought in an army composed largely of pure Negroes.
Pure Negroes. No white, light skin, nothing. It was all black, jet black. Go ahead.
And defeated a much superior white Christian force at Zalaka, Spain.
Uh-huh.
Another, Yaqub
el Mansur. Jacob.
Definitely recorded as a son of a Negro woman.
He was Jake too. Go ahead.
Invaded the peninsula in 1194 and made himself master of almost the whole of it. The guards of these Moorish kings were gigantic Negroes.
They had gigantic black men as their personal guards. Damn, go ahead.
Kings were gigantic Negroes, jet black, and of immense strength.
Damn. Go ahead.
Recruited from the Atlas, Timbuktu, and Nigeria.
Here you go.
That's before Esau made all these bodyguards into basketball players and football players.
Right.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Like Shaq.
We're gonna read down.
Those are the Negroes.
Yep. We're gonna read down to peoples. Keep going. Moorish sultans.
Moorish sultans, whose fathers might be of any hue from black to white.
See that? We mixed around. Go ahead.
Were sometimes the sons of white Christian mothers.
See? So the son of the Moors got lighter because the Israelite men, the Israelite Moors, were messing with the white women. So they had kids. The kids came out light, like the Drakes and so forth like that. The Vin Diesels. These are examples. Read again.
Moorish sultans, whose fathers might be of any hue from black to white, were sometimes the sons of white Christian mothers.
Edomite mothers. Go ahead.
Captured on the ships or the coast of Western Europe.
So we had women shipped over. Edomite women shipped over. Go ahead.
Including the British Isles. Among such are...
From where?
The British Isles.
When we had Britain too. Remember we had Britain for a while. We shipped them over from over there. Go ahead.
Among such are Abi el-Olo, Muhammad el-Ahad, and Abu Dubas. Female slaves with faultless complexions and golden hair were imported from Sweden and Finland and Greek and Circassian beauties. Caucasian beauties as dancers, singers, and wives.
We took Edomite. So again, here we go. Israel taking heathen women again. Edomite women. We had that craze. Now we had it back then. Go ahead.
For 8 centuries, shapely black women from Ethiopia and West Africa were brought in for the same purposes.
So the Israelite men who love their people, we brought in shapely.
You notice how when they describe Esau, they said blue eyes and blonde hair.
Right.
That's when they got work for them. Yeah, blue eyes, blonde hair. Black women, shapely.
But this is for 8 centuries, shapely black women from Ethiopia and West Africa were brought in for the same purposes, to become what? Wives, dancers, and singers. Same thing. Go ahead.
White French slaves were also sold in numbers to the Moors by Jews with royal permission.
So we were selling them. Go ahead.
They used Bordeaux as
Bordeaux.
as a slave port.
Uh-huh.
Arnold thinks that most of the Islamic slaves came from the Slavonic people.
Right, so the word Slavic comes from. Slavic, slaves, Edomite slaves, Slavonic people, Slavs, like Yugoslavia, Slav, whatever, that's where it comes from.
Wait, can we go back to it says white French slaves?
Slovenia as slaves. Heathen Edomite slaves.
White French slaves?
White French slaves were also sold in numbers to the Moors by Jews with royal permission.
Wait, so it says white French slaves were sold in numbers to the Moors by Jews. Mm-hmm. Black Jews.
Yeah.
Jews.
He was selling them. He was selling Edomite women.
Right, because Esau ain't gonna sell their
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
They were
So
conquered
it's
this time. They were
Jews.
conquered at this time. We
Yeah,
were
so
selling
that's
them.
us.
Right.
Why do they keep on making it a distinct? You see, they refuse to say the Jews were selling themselves to the Jews.
Well, this is Jake. He doesn't know.
Huh?
This is Jake. He doesn't know.
I give him a pass.
Yeah, you'll give him a pass.
Yeah, you get a pass. My bad.
We don't?
They use Bordeaux as a slave port.
Right, we use that area as a slave port to bring in the Edomite women slaves. Go ahead.
Arnold thinks that most of the Islamic slaves came from the Slavonic peoples.
Most of the Islamic slaves came from Edomite people. Most of the Islamic slaves came from Slavonic peoples. That's Germanic, the Vandals, Visigoths. That's who it is. French women, Finland, Edomite women, Caucasian women. All right? That's all I wanted. Jeremiah 2, and it was done. Jeremiah 2:27. I'm going to finish this page. We got to get up out of here. Jeremiah 2:27.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 27. Saying to a stock, thou art my father, and to a stone thou hast brought me forth. For they have turned their back unto me, and not their face. But in time of their trouble they will say, arise and save us. But where are thy gods?
That's all I want. So Israel went and worshipped Islam, the stone. We went into idolatry. Islam is idolatry. And under the Islamic ideology, we took upon ourselves Edomite slaves. Edomite women, and so forth. Give me page 112 now, the same book. These are the images of 112 and 115. We're almost done. So finish this page, we can wrap it up. We got a little bit left. I don't want to just stop there. I want to finish it up. 112 and 115. So you see here, this is a Slavonic woman here. If you got kids watching, be mindful. It's kind of graphic picture. Blow it up. This is the Jake right here. These are all Jake. You see him putting his finger in her mouth. You see what, that's a test to see what she can do. Obviously. And she's butt naked there as he's bringing her as a slave. Remember Jews are selling them. That's probably a Jew behind her. And that's a Moor with his finger in her mouth. Okay? That's what we were doing. This is what we liked at this time.
Go on top of the page.
Go to the top of the page. See, Eastern slave market. See, that's what she was. Go down to the bottom. Bottom. What does it say?
Detail from the Slave Market by J.L. Jerome. Negroes and whites being sold together.
Right, because you had black women also being sold as well. But the white girl was the main commodity there. Because we had black women all over the place. So the white girls was like the ooh.
Right, it was something. It was like
like today, like a Kardashian today. Oh wow, ooh, Kardashian, ooh.
Exotic. That's what.
Something
I'm
exotic,
thinking.
right?
Yeah,
Exotic, right? So go to page 115. Next image, 115. Blow it up, son. Blow it up. Right there. Go down.
This is in Turkey.
Right. See the brother right there. See the Edomite sitting there. Terrible. You see about the thing laying there naked right there on the right hand side, and you see another one sitting right there on the floor. These are his slaves. These are his slaves here.
Back then, they were the bedwench.
Bedwench, right? That was the bedwench, right? It says detail of Turkish harem. See, Turkish harem.
Seen by J.L. Jerome, 1824-1904.
Right. That's what we had. We had slaves there. Go to Revelation 11 and 10. Revelation 11 and 10. That's what Esau said, never again. That's what that statue, that statue he saw the Moors in chains. That's the after this. That's after this.
And that's why
it
they
said
always
never
claim-
again.
And Deacon, that's why they always claim rape to destroy our villages. Because that's nightmares of what we used to do probably back then. You're like, oh, no, black man raping our woman.
Yep.
Hey, we didn't touch her. He's reminiscing.
Revelations chapter 11 and verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another. Because these two prophets
Judah and Ephraim, which are the Moors, go ahead.
tormented them that dwell on the
That's what
earth.
we did torment them. We put them through hard labor. We read it earlier. Took their kids out there, ripped their kids out their arms. They took their land from them. Just burned their churches down. Took their women as slaves. We tormented them. David threw them off the cliffs and watched them break. It was beautiful. That was beautiful. That's the Chronicles. David would throw them off the cliffs and watch them break down the mountains. That's what we did. We tormented them. So there's no way the nations are going to fall back in line in slavery again without a fight. There's no way. I look forward to it. We tormented them. Leviticus 25, verse 44 and 45. They don't want to return to this. They don't want to return to this right here. But they will regardless.
That's right.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thine bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy.
Right.
And of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession.
It shall be your possession. That it?
Yes.
What's up?
You want verse 46 too?
Yeah, read that. Yeah.
Verse 46. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children
Yep.
after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever.
How long?
Forever.
Forever. That's their purpose. To be slaves forever. That's their purpose.
But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor.
I mean, don't torment them. Don't torment your own kind. Nations you can. Not them. So now, read this one last thing. Page 59 again.
And we're not taking heathen and women in the kingdom.
We're not. We don't need them. Gods don't need peasants as their wives. Gods need other gods to reproduce.
That's right.
Bring it out.
Gods make gods.
Gods go with gods. Slaves go with slaves. I'm not saying the woman is God. I'm not saying that. But the black woman is, she belongs to us. So she's made for us. She's made for God. She's made to handle gods. The other nations are not. Make sure women go crazy. Oh, well, gods too. No, Eve. No.
I knew I was waiting for this one moment.
No.
Skip the whole class and
Skip the whole
let's
class.
deal with this.
Prince go with princesses. Right. There you go. Thank you. All right.
There's nothing you can do in the mind of a feminist.
I have to. Yes, I have to. I want to feed that
Should
demon
dissect your whole class.
and just cut that part. Right.
Yeah.
Go to the favorite wife of Yusuf. We read about him last week. Yusuf, Israelite. Go ahead. A Sultan Israelite. Sultan. Go ahead.
The favorite wife of Yusuf ibn Tafin, already mentioned, was a white Christian captive.
His wife was a white Christian captive. Go ahead.
Fad el Hassin. Next page.
Perfection of beauty. Page 60. We're going to end at successor Ali.
Got it?
Right, his white wife's name was Fidel Al Hassin, he called her.
Perfection of beauty.
He called his white Edomite woman perfection of beauty. Go ahead.
She was the mother of his frizzly-haired son and successor, Ali.
That's it, Ali. And his successor, Ali, that was his favorite. His successor, Ali. So Ali, his mother was Esau, and his father was Jake. All right? So we'll do Ali another time. You might touch on him again another time. So we're going to end it there. Hope I got something out of the class. We got to wrap it up. We get out of here. All right? So shout outs to the IT team. They did an excellent job. Thank you very much. Shout outs to the breakfast team. All praise to the sisters. Thank you very much, sisters. holding it down as usual. Any announcements, Cap? I know you're tired.
Yes, sir. All praises to the Most High for Deacon's class. Let's give him a hand real quick. All praises. Make sure to follow us on our Hidden History radio channel for all the classes you might have missed. Follow us on IUIC Philadelphia in the Classroom for Deacon's Revive radio shows, as well as Captain's Indian slave trade classes. If you'd like to donate to our Hidden History, make your donations on PayPal to iuic.newjersey@israelunite.org. And don't forget to donate to the Booster Club, iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org.
You forgot one more thing.
Oh, don't forget Captain Joel's book fund.
Yo, you really said it, bro?
Oh my gosh.
Wow, man.
I gotta look out. I gotta look out.
Corruption, man. Corruption. Man.
All praise the Most High.
Plan is going well.
All right, y'all.
Yes, that's it.
So shalom. See y'all Lozo next week. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
And tune into our Hidden History radio show.
Got it.
Searching for the road to the way back. We don't know our father's going way back. Do you know it?